Alright, we are going to be lapping in some valves on this Xr50 head. Cleaned it up, kind of did like a refurb on it. A little bit of light polishing and porting. Intake, nothing much. Just got it intake port matched up to the actual intake itself. Flow a little bit better. This motor is going to be a high comp piston, stock bore, race cam. Nothing crazy, just a little bit of oomph. So, alright. This is a 2011 motor. Alright. Start with the exhaust valve. This is what I like to use. I have this for so long. Just put a little bit on your finger. A little bit on the seat. I cleaned these valves up already, they're used. But just see that nice little coating. Alright. I drop it in the first time and I kind of push it in, seat it there. Suction tool, not gonna work. Perfect. It's not liking that. I'm gonna have to glue that on. It's a small little valve. Alright, that's working. You can hear the change in pitch when it gets cleaned up. Pick it up. Reseat. Some pressure against this thing. It's a pain in the ass over here. The intake valve would be easier, it's bigger. It's working though. A rag. Check out the contact area. It's a little low. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. This is just like real-time video so you guys can actually see kind of the process, not just cutting to the good stuff. nice and smooth. Alright. Alright, that one's good. It's a little bit higher now. See, you want the, basically you want the contact surface right in the middle of the face of the valve. You can see the gray area, maybe, maybe not, probably not. But that's going to be good. Onto the intake valve now. Same deal. Nice even coating on the face. Keep it off the head of the valve because that'll help with the suction cup too. Alright. So that's what should happen. You hear the change of pitch. Basically, you're just mating the surface from the valve to the head itself. Do one more and then take a peek. Still a little low. I'm not cutting these though. This is just for my wife and my daughter to learn how to ride. Daughter will be 2 in September, but she's got a little Stratter bike and all the little 4-wheel toys. Then I get my wife to learn how to ride too, so we can all go out and cruise. Be a good time. Xr50, perfect bike for it, right? Race bike. I'm also gonna rip this thing in the 10-inch class for shout out Garage 83 Motorsports, putting on the best pit bike racing on the East Coast. Show you what that glob of grease is for after. Alright, last round. You might not be able to see, but I need to do this like this. You can listen. We're good. Nice smooth surface all across. The compound away. Goods drawer. Alright. Pop in some valve seals. You don't have to do this, but I do. So they're going to go on top of the guides. Kind of just get it in there. And you can push it right on. Finesse it. Alright, there's one. Yeah, the dirt bike stuff is just hobby. It's fun. Different pace than the Harley stuff. Alright. Valve seals are in. Lap's done. So now put the exhaust valve in first. Orientation for this spring setup is washer on the bottom, spring, and then the keeper or the retainer for the keepers. Drop the washer in, goes right over the guide. Fits in flush. Drop the spring in, like so. Now, grab our valve, oil this thing up. Oof. So now we're going to put the keepers in. This is what holds the valve into the head amongst the spring. So, got to get your valve spring compressor. And you don't need this tool. You can use other tools. I learned with like a small little punch tool. Different setup, but it's going to do the same thing. This is just a little bit more controlled if you want to see what's going on. So the rounded end is just going to go right up against the bottom of the valve itself. Press that down. And we're going to thread this in. Might need to make an adjustment. Yeah, I'm going to go in more with this. Grease. So as you spin this in, you're going to compress the spring. And once you compress it enough, you're going to get to a point where it's going to allow you to put the keepers into a groove that's on the valve. That little groove. So I think I can do this by hand, but I have to flip it over for the next one. I did it. I need the other piece for the little groove for the screwdriver. But these are so soft. Alright, we'll leave that right there. Found my keepers. There's one. There's two. Those little guys are what fits into the little groove. So it's going to be like that. Here, I'll show you. So when you're installed fully, it's basically going to look like that. Fits into the little neck on the valve stem itself. Hopefully you didn't know any of this before. So I use this grease to help catch the pocket. Just a little dab. Can put it right in there. And what helps me, it doesn't matter where you put those in there, it's not like they're clocked. But I like to use a magnetic screwdriver tip. Pick it right up. Get it so the screwdriver is on the top. Just kind of find its way in there. Might have to kind of get it in and back yourself up. Check out where you're at. So that one is in. 2 going in. I know you probably can't see this right now, but it's more important that I get it in than you see. Come on. See, sometimes you get it right away. Other times you'll just drop it into the head. All right, come on. Literally dropped right in. I don't think you can see that. But if you can, they're in there. And now, just unthread. Oh, they gotta go in further. Once they get into that groove, you just release the spring pressure and everything stays together. Now that thing is not going anywhere until the cam opens it up. Give a little push on it just to make sure everything's in place. Cool. Alright. It's probably going to be a longer video. Not many people will probably make it this far, but if you have, it's going to be pretty informational, because if you're watching this, you're probably searching for something like this, or you're just curious for what I'm doing. Next valve. I'll show you a different way, because it doesn't matter. Last time you put this stuff in first before the valve, put the valve in first on this one. Grease her up. Okay. Washer. Make sure it fits into the groove. It should look pretty smooth in there. Spring and retainer. Also, when you disassemble the head, clean this whole thing with Simple Green. I get a 5-gallon bucket, pour Simple Green in the bottom, swish it around in there, wipe it with a brush if you need to. Springs, retainers, everything. It's the only thing that you should be cleaning anything with. Alright, so now, same deal. I'm not going to switch it because it wasn't too bad, but up against the valve, put it down. Make sure you kind of stay centered on the retainer because it is easy to hit the threads for the tappet covers. Again, probably should have flipped this stupid thing, but what do you expect? Alright, cool. Grease up our keepers. Right. First one, probably gonna go right in. Yep. Okay. Second one's gonna go right in too. So that's how we do it over here. One's being a pain. It was in there and it hopped out. Alright, stay in your home. This is what I get for not switching this. And thread it nice and slow. Make sure the keeper stays in that groove. You'll know. Alright. Valves are installed. Valve seals are installed. So that's how you replace valve seals and lap-in valves on a Xr50 head.